Introduction. The class develops the consequences of a brand of electric vehicles that we have in the fleet going bankrupt or shut down, and the implications for fleet management. Index. The risk of the electric vehicle market. There are too many electric car startups and not all of them will survive. Traditional car brands. Consequences of a bankruptcy or disappearance of an electric vehicle brand. The Fisker Ocean case. Apple's electric car. Bankruptcy cases of electric vehicle brands. The bankruptcy of battery and fuel cell companies. Implications in fleet management. Subscribe to the Fleet Management channel. Your subscription is a great support to continue making new videos. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Implications for fleet management. Costs. The main consequence of having electric vehicles from a brand that goes bankrupt or disappears is the considerable increase in costs due to the decrease in the residual value of the vehicle. By lowering the residual value of the vehicle, the cost of ownership increases considerably. Spare parts may increase in price due to their shortage. The worst case is when the vehicle cannot be repaired because there are no spare parts or software updates, and its residual value is practically zero. If the vehicle has a current warranty, it will probably be lost, and we will have to bear the cost of any breakdowns. If we have given a deposit to reserve the vehicle, it is most likely that we will lose it or recover it over a long period of time. Hiring insurance in case of bankruptcy or shutdown. It is recommended to take out insurance with an insurer so that in the event of bankruptcy or shutdown of the vehicle brand, compensation is received to cover the exceptional depreciation of the vehicle due to the bankruptcy or shutdown of the brand. The compensation must be for the value of the vehicle if it depreciated in a normal way, as if the brand of the vehicle had not gone bankrupt or disappeared. It is best to set the percentage of depreciation of the vehicle year by year, less the residual value of the vehicle when the vehicle brand has gone bankrupt. For example, a vehicle is purchased for €50,000, and after 2 years the vehicle brand goes bankrupt. The residual value of the vehicle due to bankruptcy is €5,000. We have established the following depreciation of the vehicle with the insurance. First year 20% of the value of the vehicle, the second year 15% of the value of the vehicle. Vehicle depreciation first year, 50,000 multiplied by 0.2 equals €10,000. Value of the vehicle first year, €40,000 equals 50,000 minus 10,000. Vehicle depreciation second year, 40,000 multiplied by 0.15 equals €6,000. Value of the vehicle second year, €34,000 equals 40,000 minus 6,000. Compensation, €29,000 equals 34,000 minus 5,000. There are two possibilities to carry out the insurance: that our company keeps the vehicle or that the insurance company keeps the vehicle. Use of the vehicle. It may happen that due to a lack of spare parts or software updates, the vehicle cannot be used totally or partially to provide the service. Depending on the type of breakdown, spare part, and software, the vehicle may or may not continue to be used to provide the service. If there is a shortage of spare parts and they take a long time to be supplied, the vehicle may be unable to be used to provide the service for a long period of time. The worst case is that the vehicle cannot be used and a new one has to be purchased. If we have several vehicles of the same brand that have gone bankrupt, we can use one vehicle for spare parts for the rest of the vehicles. You can have a large stock of spare parts in case the electric vehicle brand goes bankrupt. Traditional brands against newly created brands. As has been previously developed, most bankruptcies or disappearances occur in new brands of electric vehicles, mainly due to the fact that they do not obtain financing to continue developing the vehicle or to the low sales of their vehicles. Traditional vehicle brands such as Toyota, Mercedes, Volkswagen, Chrysler, etc. Although some of them are experiencing financial difficulties due to not meeting electric vehicle sales expectations, they have not declared bankruptcy. Purchasing an electric vehicle from a new electric vehicle brand has a much higher risk of bankruptcy or disappearance than a traditional vehicle brand. It must also be taken into consideration if the brand belongs to another traditional vehicle brand or a large corporation. It is more difficult for it to go bankrupt than a brand that does not have this financial and technological backing. For example, the Daimler AG Mercedes-Benz Group was a shareholder in Tesla. Therefore, if we want to reduce the risk of brand bankruptcy for an electric vehicle that has the same characteristics and functionalities to provide the service, it is recommended to purchase a traditional brand rather than a new brand. Also, if we acquire a newly created brand, it is better that it belongs to a large corporation or company because it has less risk of bankruptcy than a brand that does not have this financial and technological backing. Various models of electric vehicles. Electric vehicle brands that have several models have less risk of bankruptcy than brands that only have one model for sale because they better diversify the risk of bankruptcy, like Tesla or BYD Build Your Dream. They may have a model that has high sales that generates liquidity and profits for the company, and other models with low sales. A brand with only one model for sale has a high risk of bankruptcy because low sales over a period of time can cause bankruptcy due to not generating liquidity to pay debts, salaries, etc. Carry out a prior study of the electric vehicle brand. In this class, examples of startups have been developed or of recognized brands that are even listed on the stock market, mainly in the tourism or SUV segment, and for which there is a lot of information available. These vehicles are mainly used to provide mobility as employees of a company, taxis, car sharing, renting or renting vehicles. There are all types of electric vehicles such as buses, trucks, public works machinery, sweepers, etc. that use fleets of machinery for public works, micromobility, airports, ports, urban buses, gardening, street cleaning, urban solid waste collection, mining, etc., about which there is much less information available. There are many newly created small-sized electric vehicle brands that are local or operate only in one country, and they make all types of electric vehicles. Many of these companies do not usually have their own technology and use that of third parties. There are also small local traditional fossil fuel brands of all types of vehicles that are electrifying their models. These companies are the ones that have a high risk of bankruptcy or disappearance because they do not have great financial backing or because they do not sell enough vehicles. It is recommended to conduct research on the vehicle brand before purchasing electric vehicles. The most important thing is to know its financial statements, sales, year of creation, shareholders, ownership of the technology, etc., to find out if they can go bankrupt or disappear. The first source of information is the internet. You can search to find out if there is news about whether a brand has financial problems, risk of bankruptcy, if it is closing factories, if it is laying off workers, the benefits it has obtained, if it is obtaining government subsidies. Ask the brand of the battery, patents, how many vehicle models they have, etc. If the brand is listed on the stock market, we can know its price. If it is about to go bankrupt, the stock drops in value considerably. Also, when a vehicle brand usually lowers prices considerably, it is because it needs liquidity and may be at risk of bankruptcy. It is important to know who the shareholders of the brand are. If it belongs to another traditional automobile company or a large corporation, it is more difficult for it to go bankrupt than a brand that does not have this support. Another source of information is the financial reports sold by third-party companies specialized in this information to know the solvency and viability of the vehicle brand. The difficulty is with small local brands because there is much less information. You can acquire its financial report, ask the brand directly who its shareholders, clients are, year of creation, annual sales, profits, number of workers, debt, financing rounds they have had, ownership of the technology, etc. It is important to know if the vehicle brand has signed insurance in case of bankruptcy so that it can continue providing the vehicle warranty. Number of brands in the fleet. It is recommended to have 2-3 brands of vehicles in the fleet so as not to depend on a single brand of vehicles. If the fleet is only electric vehicles and we have a single brand of electric vehicles and it goes bankrupt or disappears, we have a very serious problem. Our own company may even go bankrupt or disappear due to not having vehicles available to provide the service. But you cannot have a fleet with a multitude of brands and models because fleet management is more complicated.
Learn about our fleet management consulting and training services. Reduce costs and optimize fleet management activities. We electrify your fleet of vehicles. We carry out the electrification plan until its implementation, known as